Welcome back to New Day. Wow, how time flies when you're having interesting and engaging conversations. I'm having a good time. I hope that you're having a good time and learning something as well. Remember that you can tweet me at @MissTemima, #NewDayKE. Let me know where you're watching from. Send in your views, feedback, comments, questions that you may have. Right now, we're going to be talking about youth in agriculture. And joining me in studio for this discussion is Rogers Kiro. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
So Rogers, I started by asking him, Rogers, uko na shamba ngapi?
Yes. Currently, niko na shamba kule Molo, where I do potatoes. I also have a small farm at home in Nandi. I come from Nandi Hills. Yeah, where we do some little vegetables. Yeah. And we also do tea farming there in Nandi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this morning we are focusing our discussion on youth in agriculture.
Yes.
Do you think Kenyan youth are taking up agriculture? Are they involved in it?
No, currently we got a challenge of youth taking up agriculture because of, I think, maybe about funding. Youths are not not connected to the financial institutions where they get funding. Youths, the financial institutions are not giving funding, are not giving money to the youth because most financial institutions want to venture into these enterprises that give, you venture into an enterprise and you get money fast. Unlike in agriculture where you have to stay for quite some time before getting your money back.
How did you get started yourself?
I started farming myself back in 2013 when I was in college. I took a bachelor's degree in agribusiness management at Egerton University. So while at school where we were taught on matters of agriculture, I found it well to take up agriculture because I could see that most of the people who were taking up agriculture were our old parents who were at the age of 50s, 60s, and I saw it right that I should take up agriculture so that I could encourage more youth to take up agriculture too.
Because if the knowledge is not passed down,
yeah,
when this generation perhaps passes on, there's going to be a vacuum.
Sure.
Because we are also focused on white-collar jobs. We forget that...
there's an agriculture too is a form of self-employment.
So what is Agribiz Africa?
Agribiz Africa is an organization I came up with back in 2016, April 2016. I came up with it while still in college. It is an organization where we try to educate the youth, women, and the general public on matters of agriculture. We do communicate and disseminate up-to-date information to farmers on matters of agriculture.
So how do you involve them?
We do mentorship. We organize farmers into groups where we teach them on matters of agriculture. Yeah. Also, currently we focusing on trying to teach wakulima there in the rural areas about matters on dairy farming and trying to teach our mothers there on the establishment of kitchen gardens, where we want to make our homestead food secure and also trying to have a nutritious meal at our homes.
So you've mentioned, from that statement alone, I've picked two things. There's the issue of the kitchen garden.
Yeah.
And maybe just to break it down some more, you're basically saying if you live in a homestead where you have parcels of, just not even a huge amounts of land, just some space.
Yeah, just some small space.
And where you can grow something, which is now the skuma. What else can you grow in your homestead?
The traditional vegetables, like the saga, the suja, yeah. And also onions where... onions, tomatoes, yeah, so that these women can't go to the market and buy, and they can't buy these vegetables. They'll just have them, and we also advise them to do it organically, yeah, and like inorganically where they go to the market and buy food that they don't know where the food comes from.
Because that's also a key issue that's actually coming up right now in Kenya, the source of what you're consuming.
Yeah.
Yes, it's green food.
Yeah, but you don't know where.
Do you know how the farmer at source was rearing these crops?
You don't know.
What kind of chemicals are being used? So are those discussions you're having with farmers at the ground level?
Yes, that's what we discuss with them. And we also encourage, we also do Also, apart from the kitchen garden and the dairy farming, we also try to teach wakulima on matters of food, food loss,
Food security?
food loss experienced through the food. The food we lose through, let's say, post-harvest losses. The post-harvest losses. Yeah, on our cereals, we get to know that, we get to understand that most farmers lose a lot of food after harvesting.
How do they lose the food?
You get you don't store they don't store their food. They let's say the cereals.
Right.
After harvesting of cereals, they don't get stored well. So we get to lose them.
So yani now
in Arabica,
it has
weevils.
The weevils and
we
whatnot.
get aflatoxins. Yeah.
So it's a storage issue.
Yeah, it's a storage issue too.
Right.
Yeah.
So considering the fact that land is expensive, what advice do you give to young entrepreneurs in terms of starting out in farming?
Yeah, because land is expensive, we got the small parcels of land. We advise we got the vertical gardens that people nowadays practice here in towns. You just do we got some companies that do the vertical gardens where you grow something small and you get something to eat at the end of the day. Okay. Yeah.
Then also, this year, most parts of Africa experienced a long drought. So what are you doing towards just promoting food security?
Currently, what we're doing to promote food security, we're trying to teach people on matters of food waste, food loss. Currently, because we get to know that during the last season, we lost lots of food due to the fall armyworm. We're trying to teach wakulima and the correct protocols of farming, so that they can reduce food lost through the fall armyworm, the diseases and other things that.
Na finally, kama kuna vijana ambao wanatutazama sasa hivi,
yes,
na pengine wanafikiria hii kazi ya ukulima mimi siwezi lima, ni kazi yenye sitaki kuchafuka. What can you tell them? How can you inspire them to perhaps get out of the house, because ni wale pia watasema sisi hatuna kazi.
I'll tell the youth, so before you say that agriculture is impossible, you just have a try it, and I'm pretty sure you'll succeed. Yeah, because what we are doing currently, we're trying to mentor those youths too. If you have a group and you think you want to try farming, we come to you, we try mentoring you, and after a while we connect you to financial institutions that may offer loans to you. Yeah.
And what are some of these crops that perhaps have a high yield, crops that are you can easily commercialize them?
We got currently I can advise on vegetables. These the cabbages, carrots, tomatoes. You can't go wrong on them. Yeah, doing them, you'll get.
You mentioned you're doing potatoes.
Yeah, I do potatoes.
So viazi pia.
Yeah, viazi pia I do as well, and vegetables.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that if you're thinking about starting farming, whether it's small scale, at least you can actually make a living.
Yeah, you can make a living out of it.
Because there's a constant income and there's a great demand for those products as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Is there anything you want to highlight before we wind up?
No, what I like to tell the youth, I'll just like to tell them to take up agriculture. Agriculture is just another source of livelihood, just like any other employment. Yeah, we shouldn't run away from agriculture, as it being not being a white-collar job. Yeah.
Absolutely, there you've had it. Youth need to step up, participate in farming activities. Agri-businesses are actually as successful as any job out there. Well, on that note, we're going to take a very quick commercial break. When we come back, still more for you here on New Day. Don't go too far.